Hello and thank you for tuning in to Totally Pickled, your local channel for all pickleball related content locally. So today we're going to explain the 3 common types of injuries that can happen on the pickleball court and hopefully how to prevent them. As many of you may know, we've had a couple of ankle injuries recently and also a rib injury, I believe, somebody falling over the net. So today we're going to go through the 3 most common types of injuries and also give you some information, some further links for you to follow up on and watch in your own time on how to prevent them. So pickleball, at first glance, it may appear to be quite a slow-paced sport, but it does contain a lot of sort of burst motion, you know, coming in after the serve, getting to the kitchen line. And there's also a lot of lateral movement as well, you know, a lot of side to side. So ankles, knees sort of take quite a pounding. With the dinking, we're sort of lowering our bodies down closer to the floor. So again, knees, Achilles and thighs, you know, all taking a bit of a pounding there. So what else have we got? We've also got swinging the paddle around, so that can lead to sort of tendonitis, which we'll come on to. We've also got other people on the court, which you can run into if you're, you know, running after a ball, head up, looking for the overhead. And again, with the overhead volleys, you know, don't run straight back, turn sideways, and then sort of do go back to catch the ball. Don't sort of look up over your head and run backwards. That can sort of lead to falling straight back on your head. So again, we will be going over the volleys and how to deal with those properly in our more advanced skills and drill sessions. And also the, you know, as I say, the other person, if you're not quite sure where they are or you're both going for the same ball, you may run into each other. A good point there is to, you know, always say that the person on the left takes any ball coming down the middle. That prevents both of you sort of looking at each other when you let it go through, thinking the other person was going for it. But also, you know, not trying to both run for the same ball and running into each other. And obviously, finally, we've got the net. You know, you do need to slow down. Sometimes you can overrun, not quite stop in time. The net's there. You then try and sort of not fall over the net and end up falling over the net. So even on that small, you know, 40 by 20 foot court, there's a lot of hazards already on there. Some of the common injuries that we've got are sort of the first type are overuse type injuries. So for example, tennis or pickleball elbow, clinically known as lateral epicondylitis. Images down here, so that's a swelling of the outside of your elbow. Screen's not big enough. Pain on the outside of the elbow. You got the rotator cuff injuries again down here, knee strain injuries, Achilles tendonitis, and also what we've seen, I think already 2 of, is a rupture of the Achilles. And a test that you can do to carry out, you know, the severity of that. It's something called the Thompson test. I will leave a link down here to a little video on how to assess the severity of it. Basically, lie somebody down flat with their calf hanging over and then squeeze the back of the calf, and if it's torn, it won't sort of lift the foot up. Again, with those type of injuries, overuse, most of those ones are a lot of running around, a lot of hitting the ball, repetitive strains, you could call those. Then we've got the exacerbation or pre-existing conditions. You may already be suffering with slight arthritis in your knees, hip or shoulder. This may flare up after or during pickleball. You feel that coming on, or you feel pain starting while you're playing, probably best to sort of, you know, sit down, rest it out, don't try and play through the pain. And then finally we've got the acute injuries that happen after a specific incident on the court, falling over a net, fracturing your wrist or elbows, trying to put your hands down to prevent you falling, paddles being swung around, hitting yourself, which I've done, or hitting somebody else, You've got the ball coming around, which can, cause injury if sort of hit hard enough at you. And again, the eyes are a sort of a very common place to sort of get hit with the ball, so I'll come on to that as well. Retinal injuries, also sprains, strains and fractures. So, to sort of prevent any of those, I think the first thing to do is if you're just coming into pickleball fresh, you haven't been playing any other sports, but you're just diving into pickleball because it looks fun and exciting. If you're a bit sedentary, haven't been playing sport for a while, possibly good to have a quick consultation with your doctor if you've been after a long layoff, and just make sure that everything's okay. They may sort of tell you to sort of take it easy to start with and then build up. Cardio training also very good to sort of get your stamina up, get your pace up. Don't sort of go right into the deep end and play one of the fastest players on the court if it's your first or second time out there. Best advice is to sort of go slow and work your way up. As your skill level rises, your physical fitness will rise up with you, and then you can sort of start taking on the little whippersnappers. Also, before you start off, do some dynamic stretching. I'll go more into that in a moment and give you some additional information on that. So dynamic warm-up stretching seems to be the sort of preferred style of stretching and warming up now, as opposed to the previous static stretching where you were in one place and sort of stretching one muscle. Dynamic is where you're doing short, sharp bursts, warming up specific parts of the body, ready for play. Also, I would recommend hydrating before, during and after you're playing. You will be sweating a bit while you're playing, especially outdoors, hopefully if the summer does come. But you should also, during your dynamic stretching, be sweating a bit. So again, hydrate, keep yourself hydrated. And also do your cool down stretching afterwards. Let your muscles sort of cool down and sort of get back into a relaxed state. Don't just come off and then go and sit in the car, drive home, and then find that everything sort of seizes up. Another video that I've already done, again I'll put a link to it down here. Appropriate footwear. I've said it, and hopefully the injuries that we've seen already haven't been down to the footwear, but I would recommend doing a bit of investigation yourself. Get yourself some court appropriate footwear. They do pickleball ones now, padel ones, tennis, squash, badminton ones, anything that's got plenty of support round the heel and sort of built for lateral movement. Don't take running shoes as being the correct footwear, because they're built completely different for forward motion. We're looking for lateral motion, stop start. So if you haven't yet, check out my video down here on appropriate footwear. We've been there, and a few of you, thank you very much, the Froshams and Steve and a couple of others that watched the video, went out, bought the appropriate footwear. So hope all is good and your feet are feeling the benefit of that. Also, defibrillator. We have one at the tennis club. Find out where it is, and I have asked when the next training for the defibrillator course will be. So if you're interested in that, I'll get some names together and we'll see if we can get another course going on the defibrillator use, just to be on the safe side. CPR as well. Anything can happen on that court, so the more of us that are prepared and ready to assist when the time comes. There is also now a fold-up wheelchair down there, so if anybody does sustain an injury, let's bring the wheelchair in and make sure that we can extract them from the dome safely. And also, learn how to play the sport correctly. If you're playing with bad form, then that can lead to sort of injuries as well, overuse, straining and spraining. So, check out some videos. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to sort of play the game correctly. And also, as you get better at the sport, you will start to anticipate where the ball will come back. So you're already in that position. You don't need to sprint into it or rush headlong. After you've hit the ball, like we say, especially on the serve and return of serve, you want a nice high return of serve to sort of 2 foot inside the baseline. That will give you plenty of time to walk up to the kitchen line and be in place ready for the the third shot return. So again, you know, start anticipating where shots are going to go. You're going to go, you know, you're going to start to see, if I play the ball here, the only place that they can return it is here, so I'll already be there. If you do have an injury, I would say, you know, stop playing, let the injury recover, and also if you're fatigued or tired, probably not the best time to play it, because that's when accidents can happen. And finally, if you do sustain an injury whilst playing, probably best to call it a day there, pack up, recover, and then come back. Don't think that you can sort of play through it. That may cause even further issues going forward. So if you sustain an injury, time out, sit down. That's your body telling you that probably time to take a good rest. So those are the 3 common types of injury and possible preventions for you. But I did mention it, dynamic stretching. I put a link down to this lady here, CJ. She's got a little warm-up exercise for pickleball specific. So go after you finish this video, if you want to find out more, go and check out CJ and Tony's, not just on dynamic stretching, but also pickleball in general. So check their channel out. But dynamic stretches are movements that people perform at a slower pace than most workouts. And individuals tend to do dynamic stretches to warm up their muscles and prepare for exercise. So in recent years, dynamic stretching may have replaced standard static stretching in many fitness routines, as CJ will demonstrate on the video down here. But you're going to have sort of arm circles, hip circles, squats, walking lunges, leg swings is a good one, high knees, upper body twisting as well. So all of those that I've mentioned there, probably good to do, you know, before you sort of take to the pickleball court. Injury prevention tips are crucial to limit physical activities while injured. If a stretch or movement causes any pain, stop doing it. So, you know, there you go. As simple as that. If you're doing something and it hurts, stop. Some dynamic stretches can put excess strain on the body and are not suitable for people with certain health issues. For example, squats can stress the joints and may not be ideal for people with knee injuries or arthritis. So again, do a little bit of research on your own medical history and then check out the dynamic stretches that are probably more relevant for your own health and well-being. Also, maintain proper form is essential. It is better to perform a movement slowly and safely than to risk injury. So, I mean, that speaks for itself, you know. Don't try and rush through a dynamic stretch. Do some slow ones, you know, really sort of stretch the muscles out and the tissues. Get yourself a little bit warmed up, get a little bit sweaty, and then, like I say, hydrate, and then you should be ready to go. So hopefully that's given you an insight into the common injuries that can be sustained on a pickleball court, how to prevent them, and how to warm up properly. I did mention in one of those common injuries, eyes, retinal injuries. So I see a lot more pros wearing safety glasses. Anna Lee Waters is one of the most high profile lady players, being the #1 player. She wears prescription safety glasses, but you can always see her wearing them. I just noticed Colin Johns has started to wear safety glasses, the brother of Ben Johns. And I did hear him in an interview sort of saying that he's been training with safety glasses on. Take a hit in the face from his brother. Not sure if that was on purpose or not. So he's been training with safety glasses on, and I did see him in the last PPA tournament wearing them. Although they did lose the first set, and then when he came out for the second set, he took them off. Ben wasn't happy. So whether I did notice everything was going along. So whether it did affect his vision and he wasn't quite getting the depth of the court. But again, experiment with some different types of safety glasses. I myself rushed out and got some. Think I may have ordered the wrong ones, but these will look good on the pickleball court. So, and there you go, eyes sorted. So, you know, they may look a bit silly, but get yourself some safety glasses. I've got some written down here. I will put the links in the description and also some images here. So you want sort of tinted for outdoor in the sun, obviously. makes sense, and then clear for indoor or evening play. I myself have ordered some Bollé ones off of Amazon, these bad boys here, and for a whole, what did I pay for them? £6.89. The range go from sort of £7 up to £20 for the Bollé. So check all these ones out that I've got displayed here. Franklin do a very nice sexy pair. Those are £51. And who else did I see? Carbon RBX had some, which I will also put the description here as well. And finally, as I did mention, is my video on appropriate footwear. Wear the right footwear on the court. Your feet will thank you for it. It'll probably lead to less stress on your ankles and your knees and your thighs and your Achilles. And if your feet are good, everything else follows suit. So if you haven't already, watch this one. And if you have watched that one, but you haven't watched How to Pimp Your Paddle, that one's here. And also, let's talk balls. Everything you need to know about balls, but you didn't know. So there you go. I think that's about it from me. Hopefully that you found something in there of interest. Any questions that I haven't covered here, pop them in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. I think I got 6 on the last one, so we're getting there. And I'm up to 17 subscribers, so I must be doing something right. Thanks everybody for all your support. Hope these are enjoyable, and I'll catch you on the court. Take care for now. Bye.
You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line! Chalk flew up!